Hi, Sandy here. I've got another glue book to flip through. I had calendar pages, lots and lots of calendar pages with vintage cars and a few trucks. So I put one on every page. So here's a car, here's a lady, here's one of my, I have this bin of clusters that I have made, and this was full, and I've used up quite a bit of them. I need to make some more. So just added some vintage pictures out of magazines. And then there's this, and I added this guy on there, compass. It came with this background. Sometimes I will add scenic backgrounds, but it was already in this scenic background. Here's some guys in front of on bicycles in front of a store, and the truck used washing machines and service, repair and service. And then here's a car and kids at the candy store. I remember penny candy. Here's one of my clusters. This is out of like Reminisce magazine or Good Old Days. I've got today, tomorrow, and yesterday. And then I've got this very colorful lineup of colorful cars. I think this says Cuba right there. One of my clusters, a bird. This is a lady out of a very old magazine, and then a reproduction ad for kids' toys. And then this is off the cover of a Victorian catalog, and from a flower print, some ephemera, one of my clusters, the car. I actually fussy cut the car out and put it on this background paper and added the stamps and a little scenery. So then I got a red pickup truck. Put one of Tim Holt's boy on there, and a lady with a car, and guys at the gas station, and it's just some ephemera. And then this car, I put a ticket on there, and this little spaceship thing, and these two ladies in their work uniform, some ephemera, this card, hurry, just $20. I tried to keep everything pretty much vintage. Of course, like a dog, dogs are timeless. Scenery, birds, flowers, they're timeless. You can, add things if you're short on it. With real vintage stuff, you can add things like that have no time. They're always there. Okay, so I got the car, I got the drive-in theater, one of my clusters, this best friends, and the dog. And I added this little thing because it didn't quite fill up the page. Same here, that didn't quite fill up the page. So here's a red car. This is a ephemera. One of my clusters. Here's a grocery store with all pop and Coke and Pepsi and a guy. The red, orange truck. I added a goat in the back of the truck. And this little country. It was a postcard in a magazine where you can order a country magazine. And then one of my clusters and Southern California General Store there, like an old postcard. I had to trim off the edge to make it fit the page, but that's okay. This one was kind of fun. The car pretty much filled it in. It's in this actual background with, looks like redwood trees almost. And I added one of my clusters, and I added this over the mountains and through the woods. And then here's some bare topiary plants on at a picnic table. And then I added this dinosaur, and I had this man looking like he's scared of something, and he just fit right into the time of the car. And so the dinosaur is chasing the man, and he's scared. Just for fun. So then here's this red car, and this is a part of the background, and I added the boy and this lady and some ephemera and another car and some leaves, and this. So then we got this station wagon and this lady, and just some scraps and another cluster and some birds. It's good to be queen, and some wicker furniture and a dog, and some just filling up space. Here's a red car, a bird in a tree, one of my clusters, a vintage ad, little scrap. Here's some little children. She's got a Pepsi bottle, the blue car. Here's a lady with the car. Change your outfit, change your life. One of my clusters, a cat, and some ephemera. This isn't really quite vintage, but it could go back to the 50s, or, you know, there's nothing super modern there. So there's a car, lady, there's some people, a lady in front of a 60s car, one of my clusters. See, I like the clusters really fill up some space. There's a little fishing boy. Okay, the yellow truck. And I kept it pretty simple. I just added my heart is with the flowers, and there's some flowers and some ladies and girls and a butterfly. And then we got this green car and family packing for their vacation. And then hello there, and a claim check and a cluster and some vintage ephemera, Peter J. Platt Motor Sales. I can't really read it. Model T Roadster. $260, something like that. Anyway, I hope my head wasn't in there. So here's a lady sitting on a car. That was, I think, a magazine page, not a calendar. I added a bird and a porch with furniture, a cluster, some hosiery. So here's a red truck or car. I added a $20 bill. Fake, of course. Plain money. Some newsprint here of Norman Rockwell, Create Memories, and a compass. This is out of a magazine. And I just filled it in with one of my clusters, and this, and some scenery. And then I'm pretty sure this is Marilyn Monroe. And a blue car, and one of my clusters, a scrap of paper, some flowers, and a butterfly. Good old days. That's from the cover of a magazine. We got some scrap of paper here, a dog on the back of a truck, a claim check, cluster. Looks like that's coming loose there. So there's a Chevelle. This is out of a magazine from like 1967. So that's the latest fashion there. And I cut this out of Pioneer Woman magazine. And this is one of my clusters. And I added a butterfly. So then we got a blue car. Looks like a Cadillac. And pictures from the past, guys in a garage, and some landscape, a bridge, this thing, whatever that is. And we got a red car, a ticket. This was some scrapbooking thing, and I just put it on there. Added a butterfly, one of my clusters, and this cute dog. It says Seaside, Oregon. I think I got that out of a travel magazine that I picked up when I was in Seaside, Oregon. So here's a car. So nice to see you. Some vintage storage and trust company. I think this is Annette Funicello, I believe. And this, some paper and a bird and a little scrap here. So here's a car that's off a magazine. I did trim it down. Well, maybe it's out of a magazine. It's a magazine. And I've added a car, butterfly, flower. This is all one piece together. vintage ladies and a dog and this. Then a car that's another Cadillac or Chevrolet. I can't really read it. I don't know. And so I added this and this tree in front of a window, butterfly, and some vintage ladies and a dog. So I had this, I fussy cut it out, I added some scrapbook paper, this couple, this was like this, I just glued that on, and a waterfall and added a swan. So then there's this car, and I put the lady in front of it, one of my clusters, this, another car, this is some ephemera, and these two ladies. And then I got a yellow car, a dog carrying a stick, and this little scrap of paper, a bird, flowers, measure life by memories, a stamp, some cabins, and vintage cars. Alright, so then I had some Mustangs, so these were two different calendar pages. I glued those on with some scrapbook paper in the background. I added authentic and another Mustang. And the word Mustang there. And we're getting close to the end. This car, and this is a picture of the Empire State Building and some scrapbook paper, a bridge and a lady, scrapbook paper in the background there. Went with some red with this one, this red car, and I got this little strip of flowers, some Adirondack chairs, and this lady, and one of my clusters, and some red flowers. So I went with a lot of red there. I think I kind of did on this one too, red and pink. So there's a red Thunderbird, some scrapbook paper, a cluster. This was actually the calendar page with the flowers. Keep it sassy with a tag. And then, see, this is why I was making my clusters, because sometimes I was just clustering things together and building. You know, there's one of my clusters, there's one of my clusters, so I thought, just grab a cluster, make some clusters, and you just grab something and stick it on a spin. So here's some ephemera, this is out of a magazine, there's a bunch of people, some doves, scrapbook paper, and the last page, the car with the guy, just added some, filled in some space there. So that's vintage cars and a few trucks. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.